Welcome back, Stassa 23 here, back with some knife therapy, and today I have for you my top 10 full-size hard-use work knives, all under $60. And I spent some time on this, and these are all knives that I've used and abused, and they've stood up to the challenge. The knives have to be at least 3.5 inches of blade length or greater, and let's get started. First up, coming from Cold Steel, you have to have a Cold Steel on this list. And it's the Cold Steel LITE. Just a really, really fascinating knife. I didn't get it when everybody else was getting it. I just got it not too long ago, and definitely got the famous triad lock. Comes in at $53. You have peel ply G10, not rough G10, very slender. So you can have a lightweight, slim in the pocket. Triad lock knife that can handle some use and abuse. You can see it's got pretty decent thickness in that blade stock. It's not a dainty tip. You can do some maybe light prying with that. And if you wanted a little bit bigger of a blade, I got an alternative, two alternatives actually. Another Cold Steel would be the large Voyager. Also $53, but this one has the Grivery handles instead of the G10. So you got to pick your poison. You can get different blade shapes. You can get this same type of blade shape. Or if you didn't want to have a back lock or a triad lock, another alternative is the Kaiser beg letter. The beg letter comes in at $59, N690. All those are all this and this, both stainless steel plus the Voyager. You have brown micarta here. This one is a liner lock, decent size stock. You're not gonna be prying open car doors with this, but it can handle some rougher use. I can promise you that. This is my second one, and my first one I thrashed. So there you go. This is the number one. We have coming from CJRB. It is the CJRB Krog. If y'all didn't watch my video on this where I put this one through its paces and I put it up against their D2 variant like this. This particular one has their proprietary AR RPM 9 steel. You can see some of the use there, rubbing on that coating. Comfortable. This one has an excellent action, and that steel takes a pretty nice polish, and I like it. It holds a good edge, and you can get this one right now on Amazon. I'm not a big fan. This is a G10 with a with a carbon fiber laminate over the top. I'm not a huge fan of that, but you can get this one right now for $45. I think that's a steal of a deal on Amazon. Say you wanted to get a cleaver, but you didn't want, the weight of this one, you could try this Western Active Honey Badger. This is a large Honey Badger, FRN scales. This one's D2. This is stainless. They are RPM 9. This one's going to run you $60, though. In my opinion, this is a much better bargain. Don't get me wrong, I like this knife. Especially it has multiple deployment methods. You can spidey flick it, you can thumb roll it, and you can flip it out as well. So it's a cool knife, but if I had to choose between the two, it would be the CJRB all day, every day. And say you wanted a CJRB, but you didn't want a cleaver at all. Another good alternative is the large feldspar. This is in D2. Contoured micarta scales. You can get this knife right here for $52. Both of these are excellent values. They do a good job on their heat treat, and they can handle some of those rougher tasks that you might put your knives through. But if you're in a humid environment or you work and you get really sweaty, you may not want the D2. You may want to go with the AR RPM 9. You can get a feldspar in that they are RPM 9 as well, but I just didn't have that one. From CIVIVI, it's the CIVIVI BRAZEN. Now mine looks a little different than normal, and it doesn't even have 3.5 inches left to it. Because if you happen to watch my review of this, I snapped the tip off, and I reground it really quick. But I was being stupid and prying left to right on a harder wood, and it was my fault. But the Brazen is an excellent knife, excellent action, that CIVIVI quality, comfortable in hand. I think it looks nice and attractive. Several different variants on bearings, deep carry pocket clip left to right. And the TANTO Brazen in D2 is $49. And if you don't like Tantos, but you like the overall package of this, you can get the Brazen in the drop point. And this is my particular favorite one because it's in 14C28N, and I live in the South, so this is a stainless. That's not. Both of these will run you $49. Or you don't like either one of those, this is in the contention of the #1 knife, budget knife for the year for me, and this is a CIVIVI Riffle. Absolutely love the Riffle. It's comfortable. It's got multiple deployment methods, 14C28N. Definitely, if you hadn't seen my review on this one, go see the testing. This one did excellent. So you can't really go wrong with CIVIVI knives. They do some of the best budget knives in the business. Coming from Damned Designs, and that is the Invictus. Another one that absolutely wowed me. Right now, in the running is going to be between, as far as performance goes, will be this one and the Riffle. If you want a good performer, these two are excellent. They both can handle some impact resistance on that edge. This one's stainless. This one's in D2. Excellent action. Very snappy action, very comfortable in hand, deep carry clip. It's a little too deep carry for me, but I can look past it. Thick liner lock. This is in a blasted stonewash finish. And the Invictus comes in at $49. He's got a line of 14C knives coming out. I cannot wait. I pre-ordered some of those. BESTECH. It's the BESTECH Kendo. One of my favorite budget BESTECHs besides the Texel. I think it's a very good looking blade in my opinion. It's a little tactical. Got a decent grind on here. Nice stock thickness. You got a nice thicker tip for piercing and maybe light prying. Contoured scales, G10 scales, inset liners. Got a pretty beefy liner right there. This is my second Kendo, and once again, my first one, I broke it a few too many times because I was doing stupid stuff. The Kendo, you can get it for $52. Now, if you don't like Tantos, but you want a bigger blade like that, and you don't want to spend $52, you could go with the Horns Knife Vanguard. They're pretty close. The Vanguard is a little bit longer. You have the drop point blade, G10 scales, D2 steel. Very, very nice action. Both of these are on bearings. This one has a thumb disc deployer. Not really my favorite, the thumb disc. Deep carry pocket clip, left or right carry. And look at that. That's a pretty, it's hard to see because they got a bevel on it, but that's a pretty stout liner right there. Thickness in hand, it really fills the hand nicely, and a good option if you want a cheaper option than the Kendo or a different blade shape at least. It's coming from San Ramon Knives. This is the 9201. It's in D2 steel. It's got an Axis style lock. I think it has a nice looking blade. I got the black wash. You can get it non-coated if you want. G10 scales. They're the quality of G10 so. I've used and abused this one. You can see some of the coating starting to wear off there. Everybody knows Axis style locks are really strong locks. Good action on these. Very comfortable in hand. This one you can get for $30. $30. I think that's an excellent deal. The only thing I will let you know, I own two of these and another model just like this. You will have to put some Loctite on that pivot because it will come loose on you if not. So that's a deal breaker for you. There's another sand ram mule that I could recommend over this, and it is the 1168. I like this one a lot. This one's on bearings. This one is a stainless liner lock, pretty beefy liner lock right there. Multiple deployment methods. You got that Spidey flick hole right there. You can also slow roll it, and you can flip it out as well. Now this one is tip up right hand carry only. So if that's a deal breaker, this one's left or right. So choose your poison. You got some pretty decent thickness in that stock. This one doesn't seem to be ground as thin as that. But when it comes to harder use, you don't want it to be super thin anyway. So both of these excellent knives. I think you can get this one. It's either 35 or 45, or 35 and 40. I couldn't remember because it was out of stock on Amazon. So next up, number 7, comes from Spyderco. This is a Spyderco Invictus. In my opinion, this looks like a more budget-friendly version of the what is it, the Spidey Chief or something like that. That's coming from Spyderco. This looks a lot like it. You got beefy stainless steel backspacer, a very slicey blade, but can handle some mild abuse as well. You got a thick liner for your liner lock, liner on both sides. Comfortable in both grips. That choke up grip though is awesome. You get the wire pocket clip that so many people love. Deep carry, left or right hand. And only downfall on this one is it's in 8CR13 MOV, and I say that because it costs $57, and $57 there. I just showed y'all a lot of other awesome budget knives that are even cheaper than that could outperform this one as far as the steel goes, but this one will slice well and you can sharpen it very easily. That is a Spyderco Invictus. Next up, we got one coming from TUYA Knives. It is the TUYA Knives BRUISER. I've been having this knife for quite a while now, since it first came out like a year or two ago maybe. I think it's a very attractive blade, stout, comfortable in hand. They call it a bruiser for a reason. It is a bruiser of a blade. D2 steel, deep carry clip, right hand tip up only. Nice stout liner, good action, and very well designed. Flipper tab is canted to the back. All you do is pull back on it. You can get the BRUISER right now on their site for $49. I think that's an excellent deal here. And number 9, coming from Ontario, is the Ontario Rat Model 1 in D2. Costs $42. There's nothing I need to say about the Rat 1 that hasn't been said already. It's just a good all-around blade. The D2 variation is $42, and if you want to get even cheaper than that and you want a stainless, you can get it in OS 8 for I think 35 maybe, something like that. It's just hard to beat these knives. They're great beater knives. You know, I've seen people do some crazy stuff with these knives, and they can handle it. I mean, you got these extra backspace, these extra standoffs to give you that extra rigidity, side-to-side rigidity. These things are bank vault locked up. Mine hasn't moved whatsoever. This is my third Rat 1, and I usually tend to gravitate toward the Rat 1 over the Rat 2 because it just feels my hand better, this little area. Only thing I don't like is Zytel scales. It's like plastic scales. But other than that, you got a pocket clip that's 4-way positional. And I usually keep one of these in my truck, one of these in my camping bag, and I keep one in here as a size comparison knife. I have one coming from Essie, and it's the Essie Vispa in D2 steel. The Vispa comes in at $40, so it's $2 cheaper, and you get a stainless frame lock. Now, arguably, I guess this is, going to be stronger than the rat, but as far as, comfort in hand, the thickness in the rat scales, I feel that they fill my hand out better. And if I want to, I can choke up on this area right here. On the Vispa, you can choke up as well, but the thinness, it's comfortable when you're just breaking down cardboard or doing light tasks, but if you could be using it for harder tasks, those thinner scales will start to fatigue your hand, no doubt. They both have 4-way positional pocket clips. I prefer the pocket clip on this one because this one, whenever it's on the tip up configuration, it's sitting on that lock bar. And if you don't want it to do that, you got to put it here or put it on the show side scale. Also, the frame block is pretty stiff. This is my second one of these, and you can also get this one in AUS 8 as well for a little bit cheaper. So there you go. That is my top 10 hard use work knives under $60, 3.5-inch blade length or greater. If you have any that you think would be perfect for this list, let me know. I might have to pick it up. I enjoy budget blades just as much as my higher end knives, and I just like them all. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. I hope everybody's having an absolute wonderful day. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.